Hi, welcome back to From Book to Business. I'm Dr. Trina Boice, author of 30 best-selling books and author coach. And today I'm here with another type of coach, actually two types of coaches. She is a business coach specialist and a life coach, the famous, wonderful, fabulous Barbara Maisonet.
Oh, I like how you said that. Thank you.
Love that name. It's so French. Or Barbara Maisonet.
Maisonet.
.com, so you can find her online. So Barbara, tell us everything you do in 25 words or less. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, wow.
No, tell us,
Okay.
first of all, the difference between a business coach and a life coach.
Okay. So I was trained in both, and life coaching, the way I was trained in it is really about how you show up, how you are being, so how you present yourself in different situations and relationships, business situations, being on stage, off stage, just really like your being. And then I've translated that and taken that in to my business coaching element because really I work with small to medium-sized business owners that are ready to level up their business, that are ready to take it to like from either a hobby to a business or a business to a bigger business. And really, each business owner is the common denominator in that business. And so we add the element of life coaching often to the business coaching of, maybe some mindset stuff, looking at some, maybe some blocks that are in their way so that we can get to work on a lot of the elements of business coaching that I do.
I love that. You're going from being to doing.
Yes, we are. Lots of doing, right? Building a business is great fun. And it's also when you're strategic and you're intentional and you have accountability, it just happens at a velocity much faster than oftentimes when you're like, I could do this on my own. I know.
That's so true. I mean, accountability, you just said a key word for coaching. My husband spends a fortune on business coaching for his business. And I'm like, why, what are you getting out of that particular coach? Because there's a million of them out there. And he's like, accountability. And I said, I can do that for you for free.
I know. And what does he say?
No. Yeah, no. And of course, I mean, I'm a business coach too, for authors and writers and creatives and all that. So of course I get it, but his coaching is pretty expensive. So what are you telling businesses right now in this COVID-19 environment to how to build their business, how to market, what to do, because everybody's freaking out?
I know. Yes. I actually have been doing a few Zoom group coaching calls and a lot of the topics have been around that. And really it is a mindset for business owners because the facts are is that people are still buying. There are still people that are purchasing. And if you are in business, then unless you become a barter business, you have to earn money. And so it is okay to give yourself permission to sell the service or product, because if you choose not to, then your clients are not being gifted with that service or product that they need or want. So it's really a mindset shift in going from, I don't know, should I make an offer? I feel bad for asking, to here's what I have to offer and here's how it will help you. And then you as the potential client get to decide if that will work for you. And if you choose the potential client to buy the offer or service or product.
Yes, I agree 100%. I think a lot of times business owners are embarrassed or they don't want to feel salesy. But if you have a valuable offer, a product or a service, that you really are doing a service, you're helping people to solve their problem. Or in the case of maybe an author who writes a fiction book, you are helping people get that relief or escape from some of this crazy drama that's happening right now, and that's valuable too.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
And one of the other things I had shared too was during this time, many business owners have had to decide if they've had to change their ideal client too. So typically as business owners, we're pretty clear, or for your authors or your musicians, like who are your typical ideal clients. And during this time, your ideal client might or might not be able to afford your services at this moment, or might not be buying. And so as a business owner, it's always a key element is to learn to pivot or to be flexible and go, okay, so right now during this time, do I need to shift who my ideal client is, or do I get to keep it? Do I get to keep it? And because we're all marketing to our ideal client, and it's okay during this time to go, I might need to shift my ideal client to this people group or to this in order to stay in business or grow in business, because business owners are still growing during this time as well.
You said another key word that I'm hearing all over the internet and in business, and that is pivot. So you might be able to keep your target audience, but maybe shift the type of offer that you're normally offering to that particular audience, right?
Absolutely, without losing your value or worth. Because if you come from a place of scarcity or desperation, your client right now is going to know that and going to feel that, and they're also going to expect that later on. So it really is an opportunity as a business owners to create an offer, maybe during COVID, that doesn't diminish who their value and worth is, but also allows them to be of service to their client.
Right. I think that's a really great point, that coming from a place of desperation is going to put you in a very difficult position later on when your clients expect the same deal or the same offer. So
absolutely,
that's a really great point. And another really great point you made is that you've got to keep marketing, because a lot of companies pull back and say, well, I don't have the marketing dollars to spend right now, or because nobody's buying. But you'll see throughout recessions, depressions, and all of those blips in the economy, that the companies that continue to invest in marketing actually do grow. And we have tons of examples of companies that have grown enormously during the Great Depression or throughout various recessions that we've experienced.
I 100% agree with you. And most of the clients I work with, like I said, small to medium-sized business owners who don't necessarily have, I always say, do you have a $5,000 a month marketing budget? And most of them don't. So we have to work on out-of-the-box, creative, strategic, free or low-cost marketing strategies that still enables them to build their business, even during this time.
Right. And there are so many things that you can do that actually are free.
Yes.
In fact, I know you have a free gift, but I just thought of a free gift that I wanted to offer my audience that I always forget to offer. If you go to frombooktobusiness.com, you can get a list of 100 free marketing ideas that fit almost any business that I can think of. But tell us about your free gift as well.
So right now, I've been hosting bi-weekly free group Zoom coaching calls for women business owners who want to show up and are interested and curious about the power of coaching. And so we show up with a specific topic that I delegate every 2 weeks. We create one, and I only offer it to 10 people because I like to keep it small and intimate. I want to make sure that people are getting value from it. And because it is a real coaching session, you will be asked real coaching questions and allow the process of coaching for you to work through, and really be introspective and think through things and find out about things that you didn't know were there until you have a coach and outside your accountability partner to ask you these questions. So yeah, I'm really enjoying hosting these group Zoom coaching calls, and would love for any of your women audience members to join in at any time. They're pretty. I make them intentionally powerful because I want it to make sure that people, it's a valuable use of their time.
Oh, that's such an awesome and generous gift. Thank you. How do people get that? How do they attend your Zoom coaching?
So right now, the easiest way is to just email me at barbara@barbramaisonet.com. Soon you can check out my new branded website at www.barbramaisonet.com, and there will be a link on there to sign up for the Zoom coaching calls. So just depending on when this goes up, you can either email me or pop on my website, and you can find the information through there and contact me through there as well.
And I love what you said about asking questions. And I noticed that on your current website, and I know you're reworking your website, but on your current website, you say you ask questions. What do you want? And sometimes coaches, both business coaches and life coaches that I've seen, they just start coaching. But you
Mhm.
actually ask questions because everybody's coming from a little bit of a different place. Everybody's why in business is different. So I
Yeah.
love that you actually listen to what people say and want.
Thank you. You know, it's funny that you said that because one of the questions I ask often, and it's probably the hardest question for people to answer, is it's just a simple question. What do you want? And like, I kindly say, don't answer right away. I want you to really think about this. Because so often many of us just aren't asked what we want and we just do what we think we should do, or like, isn't this the right way to do it? And it's like, wait a minute, I just had a client the other day. This is your business. We can frame this, create your entrepreneurial blueprint any way you want. It doesn't have to be a standard practice. And that's one of the things in my coaching that I do. I don't have a checklist of everybody fits into this mold. Every entrepreneur and business owner are different. They struggle with different things. They want different things. Their why or their vision statement is different. They have they want to work a certain amount of hours or not, or make a certain amount of money. Everybody does things differently. I think that, a good coaching program is somebody that tailors that to meet their needs. So, and that includes questions.
Yeah, I love that you customize your coaching for them. So you do one-on-one as well as group coaching, right?
I do that. And then I'll be launching my online course also pretty soon here too. And that's about, for business owners that are willing, that know it's time to start building a team, or they have a team that's like sucking the life out of them every day, right? Because it's just too much work to, manage a team and all of that stuff that goes with it. So I have those are my 3 services and products that I offer through my company.
That's a really great direction that we can head into with questioning, because that's a big decision for a company. How do you know at what point should you start hiring a team? And my counsel is to start just outsourcing tasks. And maybe if you outsource someone that wants to turn into a full-time team member, but what do you tell people?
I agree with that. There comes a point where, again, it's back to the business owner's prerogative to go, at what point am I done doing all of this? And it has to be worth their time to sit down and go, okay, do I want to hire out? Do I want to delegate out? Do I want to outsource? I'm a big fan of outsourcing. Excuse me, but at one point, there does come a time like, okay, now I'm ready to have my in-house team, And so really it's a personal decision on a business owner to decide if it's worth their time and energy and money to let go of doing everything. It's really a let go kind of conversation.
You're right that it really is an issue of control, because when I first started outsourcing, my husband has some VAs, and so I would trickle assignments to them just to kind of see what it was like. And I was like, but that person didn't do it as well as I would do it. And at first I was like, I'm paying for this person to do it, and it wasn't as good as me. And then pretty soon I was like, that was awesome. I didn't have to do that task.
Yes.
So another really good indicator as to whether or not you're ready is to write a list of all the things you don't like doing,
Yes.
and the things that you do like doing or you're really good at doing, and start with that list of things you don't like and start outsourcing those. You can find them on Fiverr, or there are a million different websites where freelancers would love to do that
Upwork.
task for
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. I use a lot from Upwork too. So there are those sites in there. And really that decision is easy once you as the business owner decide, what do I have to gain by outsourcing this? What do I have to lose by not outsourcing it? And you just got to weigh. You got to weigh it and see what's worth it to you.
Is there an area of coaching, either in business coaching or life coaching, that is particularly difficult to counsel people in?
That's a good question. I don't know if it's a specific area because it really comes down to each person, right? We all come to the table of our life. I always say that come to life, our table, with our own set of blueprints and our own set of beliefs and perspectives, and all of them, you know, started in childhood, and we decided about who we were, and we decided things about time, and we decided things about money, you know, I'm not good enough for a lot of money, or, you know, we decided things. And so when they come to the table and they're ready for coaching, it really just becomes a point at that point, okay, well, which belief are you willing to let go of because it's not working to get what it is you want? So for one person, we might have to spend time on time because, you know, or one person, we might have to spend time on learning how to say no versus yes. Or one person, we might have to spend time on people pleasing because it's not really getting them what they want. And at that point, once we can work on that, then it opens up the possibility for the path or the avenue to what they really want, right? Which is increased business, or, you know, to finish the book that they're working on, or get booked on 10 new stages, or, you know, whatever it is that they're willing, that it is what they want.
Yeah, that's a really great way of looking at it. What beliefs are not serving you anymore? So when people are banging their head against the wall, why can't I get this thing? Or why isn't this working?
Right.
That's when you say, let's look at your beliefs.
let's take a step back and go, well, what is your belief around that? And is it working to get what it is you want? Right? Because people, you know, you see business owners all the time, or people, they're like, you know, and we go, wait a minute, we're smarter than this. Let's just step back and go, am I going to die on the sword for something that's not working? Or am I going to take a step back and go, how is my belief system or my perspective, you know, filtering my choice about this? You know, I do a lot of coaching around coming from a place of 100% responsibility. So a lot of let's approach this from I first. How was I responsible to have this choice turn out this way? How was I responsible to have, you know, and own the consequences, good and bad, that come from it? So we do a lot of work around that. So, and in that process, a lot of their beliefs and blueprints and context kind of shift to get in alignment with what it is they want.
I love that, because I think a lot of times people, when they're coached, they think it was my father's fault that I feel this way about money, or my mother didn't do this thing to build my confidence. And they feel like it's like a Freudian psychological exercise to delve back into the history and point fingers.
Mm-hmm.
But I love that you say, take responsibility, because you can decide to change that belief or that behavior and change the future, rather than spending all this time in the past pointing fingers. So
well, can you imagine, just imagine for a minute, everybody showed up to their life starting with, what am I responsible for? Can you just imagine, like, the shifts in relationships, the shifts in, sales, or the shifts in how they interact with their clients, or how they sell just imagine that shift when they come up from, I'm going to own every element of my decision making, and it will be my responsibility, you know, for what comes from it. Just you eliminate the finger pointing, and I don't know, I just get excited to think about a world with that, without pointing the finger at everybody else, but starting from a place of yourself first.
I love that. And another thing that I saw on your website is the verbiage soulfully content, that you that you strive to help people find that soulful content with their life and their business. How do you get them to that point?
You know, it really is, it just comes down to people being open to change. It comes down to being willing to bring somebody in that's unbiased, right? I don't know your family. I don't know your friends. I don't know. I don't have that. And that's a key element. If you want somebody that's going to come in and go, hold up, let's talk about what you're responsible for here. And let's talk about how, if that's working to get you what it is that you want, you know, and you have that person that comes in. And so once I establish that rapport, which I do on the first call now, and then they decide to hire me, at that point, they know I'm on their team. Like I got them. You know, and I'm going to ask the tough questions, and sometimes they're going to love me, and sometimes they're going to be mad at me because I'm asking them to do something that's outside their comfort zone. But that journey of working together really builds their ability to feel comfortable to go, okay, I'm not going to hold on to this any longer. Let's work on it. And I say, let's work on it. and we work on it together. Does that make sense?
Yes, absolutely. And I always tell my clients that outside the comfort zone, that's where growth occurs. That
Oh,
growth edge, sometimes we put our foot right across it and we're like, whoa, what's over here? And then it's scary and
mhm.
uncomfortable. So we step back to our comfort side of the growth edge.
Absolutely.
But that growth edge, once you step over it, that's where new things can happen.
Isn't it magical to watch your clients do
Yeah.
that?
Yes.
I love when that happens.
Yeah. I love the light bulb moments when they're like,
Yes.
oh,
Yes. Wait, what? There's a different way I can do this? Yes. Yes, there is. Yes.
yes. Well, thank you, Barbara, so much for spending a few minutes with all of us today. And be sure and subscribe to Barbara's YouTube channel, which is called,
It's,
I'm writing it up above.
oh. It is Barbara Maisonet. Subscribe.
Subscribe. And of course, if you haven't already subscribed to this channel, here's the name of this channel. I mean, you found it. So anyway, yeah, be sure and subscribe, like, comment below, forward it to your friends, all of that kind of stuff.
Yes,
you know the drill.
yes, please.
Yes, and also be sure and visit Barbara's website to join her group sessions. I think that sounds awesome. And yeah, and visit my website also down below to get that list of 100 marketing ideas.
Perfect.
And some of them you might laugh and go, that's not going to work for me. But some of them you might have never thought of and you might be willing to try and see what happens. All right. Well, anyway, thank you again, Barbara, so much.
Thank you for having me. I really enjoyed our time together.
Oh, me too. I'll talk to you later.
Thanks.
Bye for now.